I've always wanted to start a show like this. The team beat Vanderbilt by 1 point this afternoon in a nail-biter. I've got nothing left. And the celebration is still going on in Murray, Kentucky. Local 6's Garen Thomas was in Murray with some very excited Racer fans during today's game. He joins us via Skype from Murray. And Garen, the game was so tense. What were those final moments like? Now, this is one of those ideas that you think, oh, why didn't I think of that? A lot of stuff to digest, so let's just cut to the chase. What does this tax cut mean for your wallet? Let me just break it down for you right here. This is what we're looking at.
I've got the name brand.
That's right, and I have got the generic, and the only difference between the two, drum roll please, $1.99.
$3.73.
And they are exactly the same. So you can see one very easy way to save money is buy the generics.
Yeah,
something
about a $2 difference
I know,
there.
almost half price, and I have definitely come to love the generics, that's for sure. So glad we could help. Well, now do what Sheriff Davis and Alice did. Listen to that little voice in the back of your head. We've also got some great video for you to see. Sykeston police say 29-year-old Lloyd Gilmore was behind the wheel of this burgundy sedan when police tried to swoop in to arrest him. Well, apparently Mr. Gilmore was not in the mood to go with police because he took out his frustrations on the poor guy driving that red Gar behind him, smashes into his hood, pushes him back about 50 feet, and then you see him taking off there with police in hot pursuit. It appears that things are improving just a little bit. I want to show you something. Right here where I'm standing is where officials marked the high water mark last night at 10:35. Now you move up here. This is where I was at about 5 o'clock this afternoon. This appears to be the high water mark for this event because an hour later we are now back down to this spot. We've moved down about 3 feet here on Depot Road. So it appears that we may be through the worst of it here, at least in this neighborhood. That is unfortunately cold comfort, though, for the people who live here, who, for the most part, they lost almost everything, if not all of their belongings. Shock and relief tonight for many in our area and beyond as police arrest a man in connection with a series of rapes and sexual assaults. Garen, I was out there a little earlier. Still a lot of cars out there. I look outside here in the weather garden.
Still snowing.
I'm here with Kyle Mounts in our weather center, and it looks like we got about 4 inches there. That's what our running total is. Yeah. What are we looking at so far? Well, we are back live in Livingston County, and I am here with Janie Goff. Janie, this is your house right here. What happened? Thieves know this and constantly try to pry that information from you. Latest scheme is really an old one, but it's still working for scammers. They create an automated message that sounds legitimate. The message claims to be from an area financial institution and says your account is locked, and to unlock it, you got to give them that personal information, including your account number, so they can verify it's your account. Local 6's Jason Hibbs joins us now with a special schemes and rip-offs report. Jason, man, I've talked about this so many times. Are the scammers targeting certain people, or is this just a random attack?
Never, ever give your account number over the phone, no matter how official it may sound.
No, don't do it. I've said it
just
so many
no.
times. I'll say it again. Don't give out that information over the phone. Thank you very much, Jason. All right, folks, here's what you need to know about the telephone scams like this one. Being on the do not call list, I get this one a lot. Being on the do not call list will not protect you because these scammers are already breaking the law. They don't care if they're breaking that law, too. So, what's your reason for missing work? CareerBuilder.com is out with its annual list of unusual excuses for calling in sick, and we want to share a few of our favorites. Number one with a bullet for me has to be the guy who said his mother was attacked by a chicken. Another claimed to have a finger stuck in a bowling ball, and I have to wonder, how did he dial? And still another claimed to have a foot caught in a garbage disposal. Nearly 2,500 employers and 1,300 full-time workers answered this online questionnaire. It's spreading joy wherever you go.
I gotta try that mother attacked by a chicken thing. I don't think my boss would buy it, though.
Probably not.
What does AAA say can help?
Well, there's a lot of people heading out on the road, so there's 4 things they're talking about that you should think of before you actually start driving to Grandma's house. For instance, you know, just check your windshield wipers. Nothing worse than not being able to see where you're going. And then before you leave, maybe check your battery in your car, make sure your car is going to start, or change your oil before you leave. If you're overdue for an oil change, get that done before you start heading out. Now, also check your brakes. You know, it's one thing to not be able to start your car. It's a whole other thing entirely to not be able to stop. And if there is a problem, you want to make sure you have some supplies to make sure you can get through whatever it is that you're in before emergency crews arrive. So pack an emergency bag and fill it with stuff that you can use, like an ice scraper, like maybe gloves, perhaps, you know, even a flashlight. Make sure those lights are working by checking the batteries. Tonight, people are preparing for the worst. The storm is coming, bringing with it a dangerous wintry mix. We're going to run longer tonight, and for those of you without power, we're going to read the list of school closings and warming centers in your area because we know you can't see them. Let's start talking about those falling trees that made for some very, look at that, made for some very dangerous, and that is why we don't have power in many areas tonight, folks.
Water.
You can't go outside without hearing the crackling everywhere. It's very important information. Thanks very much, Jennifer. Now, we also have some breaking news just into us from Paducah Power. Andrea Underwood with Paducah Power calls us a severe outage situation. She tells us the numbers are staggering. Right. 19,600 of 22,500 customers do not have power. That's about 90% of their customers.